But it's time for Lefties Losing It. And the man who would win a gold medal in the tedious Olympics, once great actor reduced to a pitiful clown, Robert De Niro, is again sharing his keen political insights that nobody asked for. Remember when he said Donald Trump would come after him if he was re-elected?
Nothing at all, nothing redeemable in him. It can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine. That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship.
Well, Donald Trump was re-elected. It can be, Robert, and it was. And somehow, incredibly, Robert De Niro isn't in a prison camp. He isn't silenced in any way. Indeed, he's on television making an absolute fool of himself again. Let's listen to this latest deranged, delusional, diabolically dumb diatribe.
It's about right and wrong, period. The guy's a monster. It's beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it, and it's scary.
Yes, all the horrible things Donald Trump is inflicting on America, like bringing back manufacturing, solving the border crisis, reducing the cost of living, not to mention doing peace deals around the world, from Armenia and Azerbaijan to Rwanda and the Congo, and several others just in recent months. But while Robert De Niro rants like a demented fool, here is another perspective from the acting world. This is Hollywood superstar Chris Pratt. See if you can detect the subtle difference between the deranged De Niro and what Chris has to say.
I'd hate to be so mired in hatred for the president that any success from his administration is something I'd have an allergic reaction to. To be like, oh, well, if they do it, I don't want it to happen. I'll put Clorox in my children's cereal myself. Or, you know, say, come on, be reasonable here. There's certain things that would be a good thing to have. I want them all to be successful.
Now, let's marvel at Charlie Kirk embarrassing Oxford students during a debate about whether Donald Trump has gone too far. I could play you a whole program of this sort of content, but this next 25-second clip sums it all up.
Trump has deported American citizens to camps without fair trial, but the opposition will still tell you he has not gone too far.
I'll give you £1,000 right now if you could tell me the U.S. citizen that was deported under Donald Trump. Yeah, the U.S. citizen that was deported under Donald Trump. Can anyone tell me £1,000? I'll give it to you right now. Yeah, name? Wrong, not a U.S. citizen. A citizen of El Salvador. Anyone else? U.S. citizen deported under Trump. Nope, that was a lie. You should know better than that. You go to Oxford.
Perhaps Oxford can welcome this next academic who is fleeing America to do her science, as she calls it, in a better country.
I'm an associate professor at the University of California institution, and I'm starting TikTok because I'm going to flee the United States with my family to start a life and do my science. I study climate change and sustainable seafood.
To DC now, and here is a masterclass in how to handle lefties losing it. You point at them, you explain why their position is absurd, and then you laugh. Let's see Vice President J.D. Vance and Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth demonstrate that perfectly.
This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community.
Mr. Vice President, how did it go?
Guys, thank you.
Superb work. That guy thinks people don't deserve law and order in DC. And you know who else thinks that? It's the media. And here J.D. Vance treats a stupid question from the media with the disdain it deserves.
I'm sorry?
Polls show that a majority of D.C. residents don't support the Guard here. So what's your message to the majority of D.C. residents?
I'm highly skeptical that a majority of D.C. residents don't want their city to have better public safety and more reasonable safety standards within Washington, D.C. I don't know what poll you're talking about. Maybe the same polls that said Kamala Harris would win the popular vote by 10 points.
And White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller had a Word of advice for, and I quote, the stupid white hippies who are demonstrating against the law and order crackdown in DC.
All these demonstrators that you've seen out here in recent days, all of these elderly white hippies, they're not part of the city and never have been. And by the way, most of the citizens who live in Washington, D.C. are black. This is not a city that has had any safety for its black citizens for generations. And President Trump is the one who is fixing that with the support of the Metropolitan Police Department, the support of the National Guard, and our federal law enforcement officers. So we're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old, and we're going to get back to the business of protecting the American people and the citizens of Washington, D.C.